For centuries, a single empire ruled the oceans. Its flag flew across continents. Its armies walked across deserts, jungles, and mountains. Its influence shaped languages, borders, economies, even the modern world itself. At its peak, the British Empire controlled 1/4 of the planet, a territory so vast people said, the sun never sets on the British Empire. But behind the glory, behind the power, a fatal weakness was growing, one that would eventually tear the empire apart, piece by piece. If you enjoy cinematic stories about power, ambition, and the empires that shaped our world, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next one. Today, we'll explore how the British Empire rose from a small island kingdom to the most dominant force in history, and why ambition, war, rebellion, and changing times forced it to its knees. To understand this story clearly, we'll divide it into chapters: the origins, the age of expansion, the golden century, the cracks within, the world wars, the fall, the legacy. Let's begin. Chapter 1, the origins, an island that dreamed beyond its shores. In the 1500s, England was not yet a superpower. It was a small island with limited resources, surrounded by larger rivals: Spain, France, Portugal. But England had one secret weapon: ambition. Under Queen Elizabeth I, England began exploring the seas. Privateers and merchants set out on dangerous voyages, seeking spices, gold, and new trade routes. These early expeditions planted the seeds of something far bigger, a vision of expansion through trade, naval power, colonization. And as English ships sailed further, a new empire began to take shape. Chapter 2, the age of expansion, when trade becomes power. By the 1600s and 1700s, England transformed into a global trading machine. The British East India Company, a private corporation with its own army, became one of the most powerful organizations in the world. Britain established footholds in India, the Caribbean, North America, Africa, Southeast Asia. The strategy was simple: control the trade, control the world. Sugar, tea, spices, cotton, tobacco, the goods flooded into Britain, making it rich beyond imagination. But this expansion was built on exploitation, conflict, dominance, and the empire's rising power brought rising resistance. Chapter 3, the golden century, when an empire rules the earth. By the 1800s, the British Empire was unstoppable. The Industrial Revolution gave Britain advanced technology, mass production, unmatched naval power, wealth on a scale the world had never seen. London became the heart of global finance. The British Navy became the world's police. Dozens of nations fell under British rule. India became the jewel in the crown. Africa was carved into territories. Australia, Canada, and New Zealand joined the empire. Trade routes connected every corner of the earth. This was Britain's golden century, the age where it seemed the empire would last forever. But no empire is truly eternal, and deep cracks had already begun to form. Chapter 4, the cracks within, when the cost of power begins to show. Every empire pays a price for domination. For Britain, the cost came from within its colonies. In India, growing resentment. In Africa, resistance to foreign rule. In Ireland, demands for independence. In America, taxes and control spark revolution. In 1776, the United States declared independence, a devastating blow. It was the first major sign that the empire was not invincible. Under the surface, Britain faced economic strain, cultural tension, resistance movements, growing nationalism. The world was changing, and many people no longer accepted being ruled by a distant empire. Chapter 5: The World Wars. When global conflict breaks a giant, World War I shook the empire to its core. Britain fought across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Millions died, resources drained, debts piled up, but the real collapse began after World War II. The war left Britain broke, exhausted, unable to maintain its vast empire. Meanwhile, colonies around the world demanded independence. India, the empire's greatest possession, won independence in 1947. Soon after, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Malaysia, Jamaica, many others. Thousands of years of global domination were dissolving in front of Britain's eyes. Chapter 6: The Fall. When an empire accepts its end. By the 1960s and 1970s, the British Empire was collapsing rapidly. Britain withdrew from Africa, the Middle East, Asia, the Caribbean. Colonies gained independence one after another, and by the late 20th century, the empire had fully dissolved. It wasn't defeated in battle. It wasn't conquered by a rival. It fell because the world changed, and the empire couldn't hold on. The cost of managing territories across the world became greater than the benefits. Rising nationalism and global pressure sealed its fate. The empire ended quietly, not with an explosion, but with a slow, inevitable fade. Chapter 7: The Legacy. What the empire left behind. Today, the British Empire no longer exists, but its legacy is everywhere. English is the world's most global language. Modern borders in many countries, parliamentary systems, global trade routes, cultural blending, scientific advancements. But the darker legacies remain too. Exploitation, colonial violence, economic inequality, cultural disruption. The British Empire was not just history. It shaped the world we live in today. And its rise and fall teach a timeless lesson. No empire, no matter how powerful, is immune to change. Even the strongest fall. When the world evolves faster than they do. If this story opened your eyes to the power, ambition, and fragile nature of global empires, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Empires of Ambition. Here, we explore the rise and fall of the giants that shaped our world and the lessons they leave behind. Thank you for watching. Empires rise, but they fall when they believe they never will.